Welcome back to the Secret Underground Lair. Today we are assembling the drawers. So I have all of the pieces that we've laid out, that we've cut for the drawers. This is how they're going to be assembled, but before we assemble them, we need to cut a little groove in each piece to accommodate the bottom of the drawer. So I'm going to be marking those out, cutting them through on the router table instead of the table saw because I don't want them to go all the way through. And then we'll cut out the drawer bottoms themselves out of the plywood that we got the other day and assemble. That's today's adventure. So I have every piece is going to have a 1/4 inch slot cut in it. And I want that slot to be just above the drawer slide. So this is the first drawer slide that we put on as a test. And what I'm going to do is just mark that measurement of where that drawer slide is going to be. And we'll come up about 1/16 of an inch above that drawer slide. And that's where we want to put in a 1/4 inch slot. And the 1/4 inch slot is going to go not all the way through, but 1/4 of an inch beyond the inside part of our tooth here. And same thing at this end. So the whole piece is going to be put together, the sides, the back, the front, and the bottom, all at the same time. Be a little bit of a tricky setup, but that'll make sure that we don't get any, we don't have to worry about sliding things in and patching a hole at the back. That's the plan. Let's see if it works. Okay, we got our router table all set up, a fence in place, a mark where I'm going to start the cut, a mark where I'm going to end the cut. We've got the anaconda here to hopefully collect a little bit of the dust that comes off this operation. Oh, and by the way, new shop apron. Keep some of the dust off me. So I'll probably put this on time lapse and go through each of these pieces. So cutting out the bottoms of the drawers, I have put painter's tape on the back of this plywood just to avoid getting any tear out. And as you can see, it does a fabulous job. There's no tear out on that piece at all. So I've got the 3 drawer bottoms now cut, and we'll move on to assembling the drawers. So just before assembling the sides, what I'm going to do is go through every one of the bottoms of the drawers and just give a little bit of a taper, just take a little bit off the edge, top and bottom, on each side of the drawer here. Just so that it thins out a little bit, it'll slip into the slots that we cut in the bottom of the drawer sides and back a little better. It is a 1/4 inch bit that we used. It's a 1/4 inch piece of plywood, so it's going to be a snug fit just out of the box. So we're just going to make that a little bit of a looser fit. The bottoms and sides, the bottoms of the drawers are not going to be glued into the sides and back. They're going to be free floating just to account for temperature changes in temperature, humidity, and so on. They can float a little bit and won't crack. Do the same thing to the back side and do that on the other 2 drawer bottoms. All right, we are all sanded, ready for assembly. We'll do a dry fit first. And once we're happy with the dry fit, then we'll start gluing things together. All right, with our piece all ready to go here, let's give it a dry fit. I did do a little more sanding on the tines, like the tongue pieces of these box joints, so hopefully they'll fit a little better. They do fit well. Just do a little checking for square. Boy, that looks real good. Can't get much better than that. Dry fit seems to go okay. And the tongues are just a little bit proud of the edge, which is perfect because I want to be able to sand them off. I think I have a little bit of adjusting to do on the very front piece here. This must have been one of the original ones, first ones cut, because I have a little bit of a, this top gap isn't quite deep enough. So I'm just going to take a little bit off that. And I might take a little bit off this one here. So I'm just going to mark those, make a little bit of an adjustment, and then we're good for glue up. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. It's a little bit scary. I'm gonna use a little stick to help me spread the glue around. I like the way that fits. I'm just going to rub a little sawdust and over all those glue joints. Okay, one drawer. Let's keep that little pile there for the next drawer. So what I had done on this drawer to get it ready for glue up is I did sand out the teeth, if we want to call that, on the box joints, just to give them a little bit more clearance. I think that helped. So I'm going to go through that process again and get the second drawer and the third drawer all assembled. And I'll come back when that's done. So there's our 3 drawers all done, nicely box jointed, and I'll be happy with that. They'll of course require a little bit of sanding, but I'm just going to let these sit for a couple hours, let the glue set before attempting to do any sanding. So I'll come back when we're ready to sand. Because I know that's your favorite thing, right? All right, the drawers have had a good chance to set up with the glue, so I'm just going to use some 80 grit and sand off the box joint corners. Just go around the top edge, and then we'll come back and we'll sand it a little finer, but I'll do the 80 grit on all the drawers first. By the way, yeah, I'd like to do a shout out to my friends in Tasmania. Although technically this is a Hobart welder, but I always think of Hobart, Tasmania. So shout out to friends down under. So what I'm looking to do is just kind of take out the little bit where it penetrates the edges. That was done by design, but it does require a little sanding now. Okay, that's a good round with the 80 grit. So we'll come back and do some more sanding, 120 and then 180. Probably do a little bit of filling on there too, just to make sure there aren't any voids that are going to be unsightly. I think generally we're pretty good there. I like that. Carry on with the other 2 drawers and come back when I'm done. So I'm now cutting out the notches on the back of the drawers. This will allow the drawer slides to come through as the drawers move forward. I've also changed, instead of this being the front face of the drawer, I've made this the rear face of the drawer. I'm going to make the front face of the drawer a little cleaner. On the other 2 drawers, I have kind of cut the starting and ending mark for each of these drawer cutouts. So I'll just set up the camera and you can see how I work my way through that. So to start, I'm going to take out the one on this side of the drawer, and I'm doing it from behind the saw. I've got the fence set to be equal to the distance here to the widest, or to the farthest out cut. And I'm just going to pull it through manually and just kind of inch my way across until I have that whole section clear. I'll do the same thing on the other drawer, the third drawer, and then we'll flip things around. I'll show you what I do to get rid of it on the other side. So I've switched around back to the front of the saw, and to do these cuts, to get rid of this business, I'm just going to drop the drawer over top the blade like that, and then inch my way forward, back and forth across the blade like that. Okay, so I have 3 drawers now with cutouts on them. I'm going to give these a final sanding, certainly up to 120, possibly up to 180. And then we're ready to mount the drawer slides. So that'll be on our next video. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.